Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to fix the C5 pop-up headlights. I think as a C5 owner, you have an obligation to spend no matter what it takes to keep these and maintain the pop-up headlights and not try to convert them to that other kind of headlight that stays up. So there's two main problems that affects these headlights. We're going to go over that. We're going to show you how easy it is to fix this. I know dealers I saw on Facebook that charging ungodly amounts of money. So I'm going to show you a super easy way and get all this fixed. Since we already have this one taken apart, we're going to take that headlight apart because we have to do it all anyway because we're going to send it to paint. So we're going to take that cover off, show you how to do that. And you're going to be surprised how easy it is. So we're finally back after a few weeks. We've been fighting COVID. Tyler and his sister had it first. Took them about a week. After they got better, then I caught it. And I had it for 2 weeks. Now my wife has it. So been struggling with that. Still stopped up. But we're back, getting better. And I'm glad to be back filming. So without further ado, let's get started.
Alright, so the main problem people have with flip-up headlights is the plastic gear in the motor. See how the teeth on the plastic gear wear out? They make a brass gear for about $40 that fixes it.
Yeah, the brass gear would be a permanent fix. See ours, the teeth are starting to wear right here. See how they're real good here? So basically it just goes, it travels about this much back and forth. And that's why one section will be worn out.
But this wasn't our problem. We had a different problem.
Alright, now I'll show you another problem that could possibly, like the second main problem. Okay, the second main problem with the headlights are these bump stops. You have 4 bump stops. These 2 will wear out because the lever hits here and here, back and forth. So here's the motor. Here's the lever. So this part here is what's hitting the bump stops. It's telling it to go to the bottom and then stop at the top. This part of the lever is actually connected to the headlight. So let me show you. So this is going to be in here. So this lever hits here. That tells it where to stop. And then when you turn your headlights on or off, it's going to go to the next bump stop. And that tells it where to stop. So this bump stop, if I can get one off. So these will wear out and then your lever will either miss it and just continue going. So you can take these and swap them out if the bottom ones are bad, or just buy new ones. Alright, so now you know the 2 main problems, and ours wasn't any of those. Ours was kind of a quasi mixture of all that. So let me show you what was wrong with ours. See this? It's broken. You only have 3 screw points that hold this down. So this was busted. So this wasn't holding down, and it was allowing, when it was spinning, this gear to come out just a little bit because this wasn't holding it down. So this was coming out and it was allowing this to miss the bump stop. So it would spin and then the light would go down and it would keep spinning because it missed the bump stop, and then the light would come up and hit because it hit the top bump stop. So I could have easily figured out a way to secure this down, but since our gear was starting to wear out, let's see, where is it at? Right here. I could change the gear for 40, but then I would still have a busted cover. So I figured, let's just get a whole new motor. I bought one here. I'll put a link in the description to this. So we got a whole brand new motor because we want this car to be perfect. So we'll install this, and it has the plastic gear, which, I mean, this one lasted 21 years. So if we get another 21 years out of this one, that'll be great. So we'll install that and let's get started. Okay, first step, let's go ahead and take the cover off of this headlight. That way you kind of see how that comes off real easy. Plus it needs to come off for the painter anyway. So Tyler, you can pop the hood.
Alright, let's pop the hood.
And we're gonna need a Phillips screwdriver. Grab the Phillips. Okay, we have 2 Phillips screws back here. We got 2 Phillips, and then there's some T10s on the sides. You can start taking those off. Have some, these are T10 there and there. So we'll get what we can with the light down, and then we'll pop it up to take the rest off, and then that whole cover comes off. Comes off real easy. Alright, you can swap over to this bit. See if you can get those. Then we'll pop the headlight up. Come here, Lexi. What you doing, girl? What you doing? Did you get it? I might have to pop the headlight up.
I'm getting it.
Alright, we got all those off. Now I'm gonna go pop the headlight up. That way we can get the other screw off. See any other ones? Yeah, so that should be the last one. Alright, let's see if you can wiggle this up. And that is it. So you still have this clip. This is what's holding this plastic on. So we'll take this off, sand it down. That'll be ready for the painter. All right, first step, we're gonna mount the motor back where it goes. We got 2 short screws and 1 long one. What you wanna do is get the screws in first, because if you don't, it's going to hit this bracket and you won't be able to get the bolts in. So with the screws in place, just line it all up. Put your lock washer on, and then the bolt. These 3 bolts on the motor are 10 millimeter. That's the easiest way to do it, with a wrench and then a ratchet. So after we get that, then we get the arm mounted on the motor. It's been 3 weeks since I took this apart, so trying to figure it out as I go. Kind of the hard part of doing this since we had COVID. All right, motor is mounted. And then the bracket. This is the arm that mounts onto the motor. So we get that on. I don't think there's anything else for that. All right, next step, we'll put this on. One little tip you can turn this back here because this shaft coming out of the motor has slots where this needs to line up, and you want this hitting on this side. So if this little shaft is turned the wrong way, you can just turn it that way, it'll line up exactly how you need it. So once you get that on and put the nut, you want to make sure you're putting it on the right side. You can look at the other side. Turn headlight on. Okay, next two steps is to connect this arm, which goes in here. So we'll do that, and then you have two hinge points here, and that's what actually lets it swing up and down, while this is what pushes it up and down. So let's put this on first, and that way we'll rotate it down and then connect everything, and then we'll do this last. So this just connects with this little pin. So get that in there. Alright, we got this pin in, and then this clip goes on the end, that way the pin won't work its way out. So next we'll plug these wires in while we have more room, and then the next step would be to put these pivot point pins in, and that'll be basically it. Then I'll plug this main wire harness in, and then we'll see if it works. So let's plug these in. Okay, the wires are plugged in, and it looks like these go from the inside out. This is like a T15. And the nuts are 8mm. So we'll get these on, and then we can test it. Make sure it all works good. Alright, when you're tightening this up, put your T15 in here, and you can either use a wrench or a ratchet. I found a ratchet a little easier. Think it's gonna work?
I hope so.
Last step is to connect this. Gotta figure out how this connects back down to this point. There's nothing on the new wiring harness. Alright, so we need to adjust it. So this one We'll run it down to match the other one manually, and that way they'll be in sync. All right, we can go test it.
All right, I'll go flip the light.
Give me the camera. 1 second. It's real time. Let's see if it's gonna work. Turn it off. Cycle it a few times. Again. Perfect. All right, we're back to pop-up headlights working on a C5. Like I said, as a C5 owner, you got a duty and an obligation to spend whatever it takes to maintain these headlights. These headlights are a problem. They're notorious for breaking. So, as you've seen, it's super easy to fix. It's not that much. It's not too many moving parts. Anybody can do it. And that is it. And we're gonna get this car sanded down. We started in the back already with a little bit of sanding. So we're gonna sand it all down, send it over to paint. And that'll be it. Now that we're back 90% from COVID, still I'm getting winded easy and I'm super tired still. But we are back. That is it.
Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for staying to the end and watching us get the pop-up headlights done. I hope you learned something from this video and it was informative. And don't be scared to try this yourself. So make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we'll see you next time.